Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tuesdays with Stories. I'm going to talk as fast as I can. Let's see how fast I can get. I'm Joe List. That's Mark Norman. And Shelby's on the ones and twos. And Mark's in Houston. I'm in New York. Hey, that was kind of fun.
Hey, that was pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
The Micro Machine guy. Remember him?
Yeah, of course. That guy was amazing.
Yeah, he made a career off of talking fast. And he was on like 18 commercials and then nothing.
Well, you know what's weird? I reached an age now where I'm finally feeling the age. Great Brandy Carlisle song, Beginning to Feel the Years.
Uh-huh.
And I'm starting to do this thing where I'm like, that guy's probably 75 years old.
Yes, I think about that too.
I keep doing all this crazy math of being like, when I was in high school, my mother was younger than me.
Yeah.
Now,
you do that math.
I mean, it's all I can think about. Like, that album came out 30 years ago, and like music, I feel like I've already talked about this shit on the show, but like Ferris Bueller's Day Off is now as old as like Rear Window was when we were kids.
I know. Isn't that weird?
It's very strange. And thinking about our teacher's age, like looking back and thinking like my English teacher was like 26 when she was my teacher.
And you thought she was 90.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody. And
here's where when it really kicks in is when they're making movies about the 90s. Like when we were young, it was like, well, they based a movie in the 50s. How kooky. Oh, look at the 50s. Oh, soda pop and convertibles. And now you're like, this is a movie about the 90s. I was in that.
Yeah, it's very strange, and to say I grew up in the 90s, which is like three decades ago, is strange. Yes. It's very bizarre.
It makes you realize, like, hey, we think of this as our time, but you're just another bag of bones and thoughts and jizz, and you're gonna die, and then the next group will die, and they're gonna think they're hot shit. They're gonna die, and it makes you realize we're all just a couple of lemmings on a gay conveyor belt.
Well, this is our time, and those people had their time, and then we'll be dead. It's so strange. Life will just shuffle on, and this is like our time to be 38 or 36. Why couldn't you say 35 or 39?
Right.
Cool Hand Luke. Cool Hand Luke, that movie's 70 years old now, or whatever the fuck. 67, 87, 97, 2007, 2017. It's 43 years old.
And he's dead. That guy, Luke, is gone.
Luke is
cool.
Dead. He died in the movie.
His body's cool. What?
I said he died in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas Jackson. But what's crazy, so my wife is older than I am, and my mother had me young. So when my mother was my wife's age now, I was out of high school. I was like a drunk. I was 20 years old.
Wow, that's wild.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird, man. It's kooky. It's gay. It's all over the road. I don't know how to process it, but it just makes you realize, like, I better fucking rip it up while I'm here, do something, create something, make a movie, do a comedy special. You got to have you got to leave your Mark Norman. Yeah,
you got to leave your mark, and I don't know. You take a black light to my clothes, and there's marks all over the place.
That's true. Little me's.
Hey, we've got to give a shout out to a fan whose name I don't even have. I'm just thinking about it because I looked at it, but he's a big runner, professional runner, and he said, hey, I know you've been running. You're a runner. Your wife and you run, and he sent me a bunch of gear. He sent me some sneaks, and Sarah some sneaks, and some shorts.
All right. I love gear.
Love a good gear. I'm not a gear head, but I do like gear.
Yeah, well, you're really grinding my gears there.
But anyways, we're old and it's weird, and my father's gay. Happy Father's Day out there.
That's right. I got to make it awkward. My dad pulled this when I texted him, Happy Father's Day. Don't worry, calling in a bit. Just like, hey, throwing it out there. I didn't forget. And then he goes, I'm about to go to your brother's house with your mom. We're all going to be together. You should call then. I was like, I'm such a selfish cunt. In my head, I'm like, that just means more talking to the family.
Brutal. Yeah, I'm lucky my father and I, we don't have that kind of thing. There's no phone talk. It's a text. First thing in the morning, 9:30, he writes back, love you. the YA, and that's a wrap on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're good. We're done. We move on.
Well, see, my dad, he's similar to that, but he's a conniving cunt where he's going, oh, well, call me when I'm at your brother's house, so the load's off me too. He's a clever little rabbit.
Oh, totally. No one wants a one-on-one in any situation.
No man and child for sure.
No, there's about 3 people I'm okay one-on-one, and it's my wife, my priest, and my rabbi. And they all walk into a bar. Hey, folks, get on the Patreon. Our Patreon has really plateaued. We're grateful, but we'd like to see a little spike in cases, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Let's Florida it up over there. Go to the beach without your shirt on and no mask, and let's Patreon it up because we're breaking down our old sets, and I'm getting some cool tweets about how much people are enjoying that. I mean, you're getting to see comics uncomfortable shitting on their own act and talking about it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a weird feeling because I went through a range of emotions of fear to watch my old set, and then also a little acceptance, and then a little like, hey, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I had a little pride. I came a long way and did some good stuff. I had a nice Sears outfit, a hand-me-down John Fish outfit, but it's pretty fun. We watched an old set of yours that I thought was great, and
thanks.
Of course, we got the live episodes on there, and we might start bringing some guests in maybe, and there's so many queefs from on the road, all kinds of guests in there that we just did in our hotel rooms, our basement, our father's house. So
yeah,
go check it out. You can join for $5 a month, and yeah,
it's a hot one. And get a shirt, get the Patreon, help us out, and the more you subscribe, the more content will blow on your taco there. So you also help us, we'll help you.
You also get the videos a week early, which is nice.
Ooh.
You don't have to wait around for that Visidio.
People still cannot get on board with that. Every time I look at the comments, hey, how come this is the old one? I think I've seen this. Am I having deja vu? Did I have a stroke? Can I not get it up? But I'm like, no, we've talked about this. The Patreon gets it first.
So check it out. People love the video. They want to watch videos, so go over there and get it. Now, speaking of the pod, I got to address some things from last week's episode. I've been catching all kinds of flack from the people.
What? You got flack? What happened?
Oh my God, I got buried. It was like a firing squad out here.
Roberta Flack, hit me.
Well, first of all, this podcast is very irreverent. We're saying crazy shit, wild shit. We're talking about, all kinds of goofy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The most controversial thing we've ever said was last week. I said golden retrievers are dumb. I'm getting tweets. People showed up at my house. I got a Molotov cocktail thrown up my asshole. There's a brick through my window.
They are the dumbest dogs, though. I think it's a fact.
No.
Come on.
They're the 4th smartest dog. They're known for this. You're fucked now. You're going to get this shit.
Well, who's up? Who's number 1? Snoop?
I thought Poodle. Well, first of all, let me just explain myself. I had to send out a tweet because I hired a PR person. Not to mention, by the way, we talked about the idea of fucking a dog for 25 minutes. 3 people were upset about that.
Don't fuck a puppy. That'll get you in real trouble.
Well, let me just say, that was another thing. People were like, you're disgusting. Couple people. And I'm like, I didn't fuck a dog. I don't want to fuck a dog. It's a comedy show.
Yeah.
I was just making a point that if you pet a dog, they really just lay back and, spice it up.
Yeah, dogs are creeps.
They really just, it just feels like the dog just loves you. Obviously no one's having sex with a dog. I can't believe I have to address that to the 2 people that were upset about that. But these golden retriever people, again, I know nothing about dogs. I know you got, 4 hoofs and some fur.
A waggy tail, a floppy ear. They lick their own genitals.
Some don't even have a tail. Some they cut the tail off.
What's up with that? It's a nub. It freaks me out.
I don't know what is up with that. Maybe because it covers their asshole and they shit into their tail?
Oh, maybe. But it tries to wag sometimes, and it's all wonky. Its butt's moving, and there's nothing wiggling there. It looks like a Lorena Bobbitt thing where you're like, that should be a movement.
It looks like... Remember Shallow Hal? Did you ever see that movie?
Yes, the tail.
He's got the little tail there.
By the way, what a drop-off for Alexander. I like Shallow Hal, and I like the Fairley Brothers, but it was like He's the king of Seinfeld, George Costanza, and then he can't get a gig. His TV show gets canceled, whatever, Bob Patterson, and then he has to become the creepy tail friend.
But that's the best thing he's done since Seinfeld, though.
Well, maybe Curb.
Oh, yeah, he was pretty great on Curb.
But no, I hear you. Isn't that scary?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it goes. But
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That's scary, but the alternative, even scarier, never doing anything good.
True. Yes.
Most people never even get one hit.
Wonder.
But any jizz, where was I going there? Where did I
the
start?
dog fucking
The
a poodle,
dog.
smart poodle, anal,
So,
dingleberry.
I don't know nothing about a dog. I was dog sitting for a dog owner. Now, this guy owns a dog. He's owned
Sure.
a series of dogs, and he's the one that gave me the info. And this happens a lot. People give you info, and you go, oh, that must be, I don't know anything about this. They know stuff about this. They must be right. And then you go spread that seed everywhere, and eventually someone's like, that dog don't hunt. That's not correct.
Right.
So he kept telling me that a poodle, the golden doodle's a mix of a poodle, which is very smart, and a golden retriever, which is very dumb. I heard this thing 9 times from him. So I'm tweeting and emailing and sending out letters saying golden retrievers are dumb. Well, I mean, I never got more flack in my whole life.
Well, they're a beloved dog. They're the star of every sitcom family, the Frisbee catch in the mouth. We all love a golden, but here's the bigger picture here. This is very interesting. So you got a dog guy telling you all these dog facts, and you don't know anything about dogs, you just go with it. It's almost like you got a racist dad, and he's saying these people are dumb, these people are lower, and you're just a young buck. He doesn't know anything, and you're just absorbing it.
Learned behavior, yes.
Yes, learned.
So
Fetch.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying go talk to this fella. He's got the bad info. And by the way, I mean, if I may defend myself, 4th smartest dog. Every human's smarter than dogs. So, I mean, you got 4 levels down than a human. It's still pretty dumb. And I want to say I'm grateful for the couple people that tweeted and said, hey, no need to apologize. I got a golden retriever and it's a fucking moron. So
You see? I mean, maybe they're like people. Some are dumb and some are smart.
But I'm sorry to everybody I offended. Golden retrievers are very smart. They read books and they vote Democrat. Whatever it is that makes something smart, they do it.
They're vegan, pro-choice. Yeah, I get it. But what's number 1? Did we look it up? Call in if you know.
Shelby, could you give that a Google? Maybe text us or something if you're not too busy on the other line there. Shelby is not on the horn, but he's available to us.
Yes, feel free to text. Number 1 smart is Pooch.
It's got to be Poodle, unless this guy has
Poodle?
really horrific.
What are you going on Poodle? What's your hang up on the poo?
Because that's what he kept telling me.
Oh, you see? You got the bad dad telling you Asians are stinky and Jews are evil.
So maybe he's way off on Poodle too, but Golden Retriever was number 4. I just gave it a quick Google because as soon as I saw that first tweet, a guy quoted, Golden Retrievers are dumb, Joe List. And I'm like, oh, here we go. This is not going to be good. And he quoted me. You got to quote this other asshole.
Wow. Wouldn't that be crazy if this is what ended you? Out of all the things we've said on here, the Golden Retriever thing got you canceled.
Oh, here it is. Shelby's coming through big. Number 1, Border Collie.
I
don't even know what that
those
is.
Borders.
What does that look like? I don't know what a Border Collie is.
Border Collie. I know what a collie is.
What's a collie?
A collie is, cauliflower. It's like, it looks like a Golden Retriever, but it's a little beefier, and the hair isn't as wispy. It's hard to explain a dog's look.
Now, there's Border Collie and there's Border Texty.
Texty?
Yeah, call, text.
Oh, I see.
I'll kill myself after. Number 2 is Poodle.
Oh, okay. You were right on with the pood.
So Poodle's up there. Number 3, of course, they're known.
You.
They're known for their engineering, the German Shepherd.
Germans are good.
They've had some bad ideas, but,
They're efficient people. They get shit done.
And I assume that the list that Shelby sent, that ends with those 3, Border Collie, Poodle, German Shepherd. And from what I saw, number 4 is Golden Retriever. And here's a photo of the thing we just were talking about. I don't know if you can see that there on the video.
Which one's that, a collie?
That's the collie.
Oh, I was way off. All right.
I thought your description fit.
Oh, all right. I'll take it.
I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, I wasn't listening, but it seemed good.
You fit the description. That's what I say.
So, my apologies. Now I want to know what the dumbest dog is. Like, what's the big fucking idiot dog? Probably a Boston Terrier. No offense to my people.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
That dog's just like, yes,
homo.
go ahead.
Yeah, he just like he goes to the gay pride parade and yells at him, barks at him.
He's
I
like,
don't
"You're
know.
fucking queer."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I had a dog when I was a kid, and it was the same dog from Wizard of Oz.
Oh, a Toto dog.
A Toto, and I had the same hair. So my dad, it was a black-haired dog, and I was a black-haired douche. And my dad called me Toto for a while. Then the dog got eaten by ants.
Come on.
Well, not eaten, but it died from an ant pile.
An ant pile? What? First of all, you sounded like Bob Seger for a minute. It was a black-haired dog, and I was a black-haired man.
Yeah.
So wait, all right, give me this ant story, because this sounds a little fishy.
Well, I lived in a rough section of NOLA, and this dog was not cut out for my hood. And he was sheltered, and literally sheltered. And we picked him up, and he was cute, and he was little, and he was a nice little guy. He didn't have a bad bone in him. And one day he went out and started digging through an ant pile because it's a big pile of dirt. It's fun, and he starts rolling. It's a hill. He died on that hill, and he's rolling around it like a chinchilla because it's all fun dirt. And he didn't realize he's getting all these ants on him. And these are, black ants, so they didn't hold back, and they bit the hell out of him. And it bit him so much he died.
Like, but did he die? Did he get like poisoned and he was sick, and then you went to the vet and they were like, he's got ant bites, or did he like legs up, fucking covered in ants, dead?
Legs up like a cartoon. They swarmed him. You couldn't even see him. He was so covered, like eyeballs, eating the eyeballs, and in the mouth. I mean, in the ears. It was out of a horror movie.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, ants with a Z.
Boy, they really upped the ante.
He said uncle.
Oh boy, I'm off on this ep. I'm sorry, the dog
No.
stuff's got me down. But
No, golden retriever, you're killing it.
well, good for the ants. I heard there was a bit that I used to love. Someone in Boston had a bit about how if you kick an ant hill over, or an ant pile, as you guys say in New Orleans, evidently.
Yes.
If you kick over an ant hill, they don't pause. They just immediately start working to rebuild the hill.
Yes, that's right. They're better than us. They're not lazy.
And the guy, I forget the comic, he had the bit. He's like, come on, all of them? There's got to be one guy that's like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? No way. I'm out of here. And he did a whole act out. And it was a great bit. I loved the bit.
That's great. I love that angle.
It's a funny angle. And then, of course, they can lift the equivalent of a car 10 times their weight or 100 times their weight.
That's right. And they have ant farms. They literally farm.
You should be farming. What do you mean? They growing crops or what?
No, you never seen an ant farm? As a kid, you had the little green thing with the clear plexiglass, and it had the dirt in it, and you throw a couple ants in there. Within 2 days, they got tunnels built, and they're doing an underground railroad, and they're lifting turnips and beets. They build a farm.
But I thought that was just a term for like where they live. Are they actually farming? Are they planting seeds and
It's
and
a
pulling
thing you
them out?
buy. Give it a goog. It's crazy. It's a thing you buy, and you put a couple ants in it. You throw a few speckles of dirt, and maybe a half an onion rind, and you put that in there. And before you know it, they got a city center. They're building like suburbs in there.
Well, I've seen the farm. I know about the farm, but I thought farm was just a general term for. Do they feed themselves off the farm? I mean, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, they're incredible creatures. Also, if an ant was our size, he'd be faster than a Ferrari. Fun fact.
No kidding.
Goog.
Wow, that's wild. I'm saying no kidding as in wow. I'm not saying I don't believe you.
No, I get it, but they're a hell of a little Nazi, and that's why they were so fun in Honey, I Shrunk the Dick. Remember the ant?
Yes, I remember the ant. They had the little crumb hanging off the front.
Yes, the Crumb, Harry Crumb.
I love that redheaded kid. He's in Big, and he's in Honey, I
Yes.
Shrunk the Kids, and
He was good.
Overboard.
He had 3 hits, and he was out.
He was big, and he was really funny, and he reminds me of Matt Wayne. He's got a Matt Wayne feel.
I could see that. Hockey jersey, kind of 80s kid. Yeah, I could see that. Quick with
By the way,
lip.
Matt Wayne, one of the funniest guys. I think he's on the Patreon somewhere. There's a live episode with him. one of the funniest guys ever, one of my favorite comics, Buffalo Guy. I shot this short film with Robert Kelly and myself and Sarah, and there's a scene with a fart, and we went to YouTube and pulled up some fart sounds. You know, Sarah and I love a fart joke.
Sure.
And we plugged them in. It just wasn't sounding real. It was sounding like somebody making fart noises.
Yeah.
So I said, I know who's got good farts. Matt Wayne has the funniest, best farts. I texted him. I said, hey, buddy, we need a fart over here. Step on it.
He's like break glass for a fart, you know? He's an emergency.
He's tremendous. So he said, I mean, such a funny guy. He texts me and says, no problem. I'll have my wife put some lentils on.
Ah, come on. That's amazing.
Put the lentils on. And then he says, I'll get you in the morning because in the morning I got real motorcycles.
Vroom, vroom.
I mean, this guy is just a natural, the funniest guy I ever met. I mean, he's up there with my Uncle Brian and Derek, this guy.
Yeah.
So next morning I wake up, you know, I hear the cock-a-doodle-doo, the sun is rising. I already got 3 sound files on my phone, and they're labeled like dud, long one, classic. I can't remember what he labeled them. And you get a little bit of his vocals beforehand.
Uh-huh.
And it's great. I mean, and the fart is perfect. We put it in. It's the exact length we need. Perfect. I mean, I'll play you one. You want me to play you one?
Yeah, he's a fartist, is what he is.
Exactly. I mean,
what a hero that he didn't flinch. He didn't go, what's this for? Why do you need this? Am I going to jail? He was just like, you got it. I'm on it.
He was on it, and I Venmo'd him $7. I was like, I appreciate it.
He's a first fart sponder.
Here we go. Here's a couple. Quick ripper.
Oh, that's home run.
What did he
Did
say?
you hear that? He said, oh, home run.
Motorcycles is great.
That's a great one. Here comes another one. That one's good. And then here's a real long one. Get ready, folks.
It sounded wet.
Woo! All right. Anyways, that's enough of that. I'll probably get shit for that. People will, like, grow up, you losers. But
yeah, it just goes to show you. So I'm in Houston right now, and you know I'm rusty. I'm gay. I'm working on an act here, and the clock. There's a big clock on the wall there, and that clock is ticking, baby. I mean, you think, oh, I've probably done about 28, 29. You look at the clock, you've done 7.
oof.
You know that feeling.
Certainly.
And so I'm just reaching here. I'm grabbing sticks and twigs and berries from any area I can, and I'm trying to pull something out of my ass, and it's all put together with gum and tape. And so I'm doing pretty well. I'm cooking, but I'm getting real dirty. And because don't you find you go hacky and you go dirty and you add a lot of fucks when you got nothing?
Of course. That's why hacks are hacks.
Right.
They have
So
nothing.
I had nothing, so I had like 18 minutes to go with 0 material left. 0. I've got 3 sheets of paper on the stool. I'm going, I got nothing. I'm reading a laundry list here. I'm panicking. And this lady yells out, you're so fucking lazy.
What?
And I was like, oh, geez, here we go. So now part of me is like, well, this is bad. This lady's pissed. She's mad. She's obviously yelling. But now I got something to go off of.
That's nice. It's a nice little gift. But why'd she call you lazy? What is that?
Well, I mean, in her defense, I got 12 papers out. I got Post-it notes. I got a whiteboard up there. I'm reading, you know, the daily news, just trying to pull any kind of material out. And it turns out I did some porn jokes. I think she dabbled in porn, and that hit a nerve.
Oh, interesting. Well, first of all, let me just say, to me, that sounds like the opposite of lazy.
That's what I said.
You're working. You got notes and a thing. Lazy would be if you were just sitting there with nothing.
Right. And the beauty of it, I was doing pretty well, and I kind of had the audience with me like, sorry, folks, I'm working this out. And they were all like, you got it. Keep going. So they were cool. And so I had them on my side at least. So when she yelled, they all turned on her. And
That's always a good feeling.
then I got to go, hey, all right, let's take it easy. And then she was so far in the back, I said, I can't see. If I could see you, I'd really insult your physical appearance, but I can't see you, and I'm just trying to get something out of it. But when somebody says something that has some truth to it, it wasn't like you suck or, you know, your dad's a dick. It was like, you're lazy, and you know we've all had lazy thoughts where you go, she's kind of right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that anybody that's ever met you would describe you as lazy. That seems insane, but I think this lady's crazy. Maybe she said crazy. It sounded like lazy.
No, it was pretty clear, and she wasn't Asian, so that didn't happen. But yeah, it was weird, and it's the toughest thing about comedy because you just put out a special. I think you already have a ton of material, or you're about to put out a special. You have a bunch of material in the backlog, though, right?
Yeah, I got a nice chunk. Yeah.
So you could headline with new material.
Pretty much. I mean, I did 1 week after I shot, and I did like 15 of the stuff from the special, and then I got about 30 or so.
Okay, so
35.
I didn't prepare. You're the grasshopper. You're the spider. I'm the grasshopper. Who's the one who saved all the nuts?
I don't even know what you're referencing.
This is an Aesop's anal. It's one of those old wives' tales. There's the grasshopper and the Nazi, or somebody, and the Nazi saved a bunch of nuts, and the grasshopper said, "Hey, have fun with that, dickless. I'm going to the beach."
Oh,
and
I don't know.
Then the winter came, and the grasshopper starved to death.
The only grasshopper story I know is when the grasshopper walks into the bar, and the bartender says, "We have a drink named after you," and the grasshopper says, "You have a drink named Dennis?"
Nice.
I mean, that's one of my favorites of all time.
That's a classic. Yeah. Also, the ninjas say grasshopper. You know, they go, "Hello, grasshopper," like to the new guys.
Oh yeah, you know, it strikes me you don't hear much about ninjas anymore.
Well, that means they're doing a good job, I think.
Like, when's the last time you heard a ninja movie? I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been remade, but like there hasn't been a ninja film or TV show in quite a while.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's too close to the N-word. People are avoiding it. I don't know. It's Ninjas Out. You're right.
There was like Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, and it's all kids with ninjas.
There was 3 Ninjas. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah, the 3 ninjas. And then there was Beverly Hills Ninja.
Ah, yeah, Chris Farley.
But this is all 90s.
Yeah, you're right. Ninjas are out.
We should get back on the ninja scene.
Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians. Did that have a ninja? Well, I guess you had Kill Bill, but that was more kung fu-y. I don't know.
And even that was almost 20 years ago.
Yikes, here we go with the years.
I know. I think about it all the time. That was 17 years ago. Or
so
16.
the way you look at the 70s is how my dad looked at the 30s. Isn't that insane? My dad was born in 47.
Wait, what?
You were born in the 80s.
37?
My dad's born in 47.
47?
Yeah, sorry. Did I say 30?
Maybe you did say. I don't know. I can't remember. Okay, so he was born in 47. So he's 10 years older than my dad.
So the decade before he was born was the 30s, and the decade before we were born was the 70s. It's insane. Like that, the 30s was like the Depression and tenement buildings and horse-drawn carriages and ladies with a big mole and a mustache stirring a pot and the clotheslines and shit. You know,
that's insane. I mean, that's the stuff like we talk. You know, not to get whatever, but all the stuff going on with Black Lives Matter and everything. You think about it, it's like this is only a couple generations away from slavery.
Yes, as Louis would say, it's 2 old ladies dying back to back.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's wild.
Crazy to think like your great-great-grandfather is involved in like the 1830s.
I know. It's insane. I'm like, and you just want to tell the guy, like, you got no idea what's coming. Like the internet, TV, porn. It's going to be wild.
And people were happier. I was just reading a thing about gratitude and like putting yourself in your like great-grandparents, your forefathers or whatever, your ancestors is the word, put them in their position, like to think about what that must have been like. No windows. You had no window. Things could just fly in. The weather would just come in.
Yes.
No central heating. You'd have to have a fireplace and like gather around it. No TV, no radio, no internet, no lights, no electricity, no AC.
Totally. And that was life was all about. Okay, it was all seasonal. Okay, the winter's coming. We got to do this. Okay, the summer's here. We got to crop. Make hay while the sun shines. It was all just survival. And I think in a sloppy, douchey way, that's kind of how we're wired. And we were probably a little more sane then.
Oh, 100%. I think the studies that we were like happier then. The internet's killing us. Side note, I deleted Twitter off my phone on Friday. I feel like $1 million. But
Good
wait,
for you.
weren't we getting to something? Weren't you telling a story? I think we went crazy.
Oh, well, let me just say this because we're talking about the 30s. I was getting to this heckle lady. So, the 30s, isn't that crazy that in like 1932 somebody said something offensive and somebody went, Jesus, man, it's 1932. You gotta wake up. Like, we always do that. Like, hey, it's 2020. You still doing this shit? But they did that back then. Like, the year is just the year. It's an arbitrary bullshit number. We're just humans who happen to be alive now.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess that's the nice thing about progress. We are still progressing.
Yeah, I guess so.
It took a long time before people were like I tweeted this the other day about people. There must have been a first guy that was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't drink and drive.
Yeah.
It seems a little dangerous. Like, there must have been one person at one point that was like, what if we just didn't drive while we were drunk? And then everyone else is probably like this, shut up, you fucking homo, you piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah. My friend Neil Stasny had this great bit, like, you could probably have been the governor of a state if you had just, like, back in the day, if you were like, oh, I'm not racist. They would have been like, holy shit. Like, just blow people's minds by being not racist.
Yeah, how nice. I think this has been someone's bit before, but like, how nice. I watched like a documentary about Bill Russell, and he's like crying. He's like, Bob Cousy ate out of my French fries, and I knew he was a good man. I'm like, what a nice thing that must have been.
Yeah.
To just, I mean, not for the, black people, but the idea of just like, I eat Damian Lemon's onion ring, and they're like, this guy's a hero.
I know, it's so easy.
You know what I mean?
You get a photo of you high-fiving Jackie Robinson, and all of a sudden, but then on the flip side, you get the N-word lover. Hey, what do you go back to your area? You segregation? I don't know.
Yeah, they beat you up or whatever, but nice back then. You didn't have to, post a certain thing, saying the right thing with the right wording. Back then, you could just have your arm around, B.B. King, and people were like, well done.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I also wanted to say, I did this heckle thing, whatever. She got thrown out, which was fun. But, boy, I'll tell you, that's the thing about stand-up with these shows. It's so funny because these these audience members see the special, so they'll see your special. They'll go, we like this guy. This is a polished, funny, whatever, good joke comic. And then they come see you, and you're the exact opposite, and I think they're a little confused. So it's like, imagine seeing LeBron James on TV have the game of his life, and then you go see him and he sucks. Like, he doesn't lose skill after he does well, or after he records something, much like us. Not skill, but we lose content.
Yes, and even that analogy is tough because they still got to see the other 11 guys. There was still a game going back and forth. They're just bummed that he had a bad night. It would be like if you went and saw the Stones and they had a bunch of notes out and they kept starting and restarting, and you're like, what the fuck? But some people love this.
That's true. I think the real comedy nut jobs, they get it. They know what the hell's going on. But even as the guy delivering the shit jokes, you still want to fucking prove it to him. Like, oh, no, I can do it. So it's tough on the ego.
Well, this is where we miss the comedy club, the Comedy Cellar, the Stand, and these clubs to work places out. I mean, that's where it's brutal. Yeah. And I was talking to a couple of different comics that were saying, I want to go back to work, but I can't go and do a headlining show. You need the Cellar or something to do 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever.
It'd be nice.
But speaking of working out, that's not a good segue, but we do have a sponsor this week, and we are very happy about this sponsor. This week's episode of Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you by Blue Chew. You know it, the first chewable dick pill.
Yes.
While we're all stuck at home, what's something we could all use a little more of? Human contact, sure. But also, we need sweet, sweet lovemaking. It is a stress reliever. It's true. I'm grateful for it.
Oh, yeah.
With Blue Chew, you'll be keeping your loved one at a healthy distance, 6 inches away, if you know what I mean.
Generous.
Blue Chew is the best. It has the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. This stuff is first class. We all get in a weird space mentally sometimes. You're a little anxious, so you got the little couple problems down there. You get yourself a chewable dick pill. Take Blue Chew anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since it's chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. It's fast and easy.
Here. I'm on one right now. I chew them like candy. They actually taste great. And The other pills, whatever you want to take, they're not chewable. This is great because it's so quick. Sometimes you just get in the heat of the throes of passion and you got to just guzzle one down. So get on it quick. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code Tuesdays. You just got to pay the 5 clams and shipping. Again, that's BLUE Chew.com, promo code Tuesdays to try it free. BlueChew.com, finally a website that can give you an erection. Boy,
Hell yeah.
they really cut to the chase on that copy.
Certainly. Well, tell me some other Houston things. What's it like down there? How's it going? Are you getting nervous? Are you seeing sick people? Do they have masks on? Are the shows good? Am I gay? What's going on?
Well, it's getting interesting now because, look, I'm a freewheeling, cum-guzzling chooch, and, I like to live by the seat of my khakis, but I did a meet and greet. First show, Friday, Friday late show, meet and greet. Saturday, I get a text from the club, hey, we're kind of pushing it with the meet and greet. Do you want to, let's just call it quits on that. And I was like, hey, done and done. Now I'm not the bad guy. You guys don't want to do it. I never want to do it. I mean, it's nice meeting the Tuesdays and everything, but it's a lot of work, and it's more of a risk. So they nixed that.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like handshakes. We should do away with it forever.
It seems like it. So I think people are starting to worry a little. I don't know if they're actually worried about illness, but maybe they're starting to worry about, are we going to get called a bunch of so-and-sos if we don't follow the rules? And maybe we should just try not to get in trouble. And what if some guy gets sick from here and now it's on us? So it's even if it's a liability, I think people are taking precautions now.
That's good. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I was talking to Shelby about it off mic, and we talk about it a lot, but there's cases spiking over here, and then you look at where the cases are going up, it's the entire bottom of the country. Everything below the, Mason-Dixon equator. Yeah. It's really getting rough. And I'm supposed to be at Side Splitters the end of July, but Florida's spiking. Vecchione's there now, or was there this past weekend. I'll talk to him, but I don't know what to think, because you don't want to be a spreader. It's not just about us getting sick. I feel healthy, whatever, but I don't want to be giving it to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Larry, and Susan.
That's how I feel. Like, I'm a queef, so I just assume that I can't get it, and I'm like, I think I had it in February. I'm immune. It's like chicken pox, But you never know if you got it in your ball sack, and then you shoot a load onto a dinner tray, and then they get it. So you got to be careful, I guess. But it's just so fun being on a road weekend. Like, I did some guy's podcast where he drank whiskeys, and it's called Whiskey Neat.
Whiskey Brothers?
Maybe that's it. Something like that. And it was great. And I'm hanging out with the openers, Zide and Andrew Youngblood. And we got lunch after at a diner. And it's like those things about the road, where you're like, oh, the show's at 7 tonight. You got to race home from the restaurant, take a shower, look at your notes real quick, then run to the club. And you go out after to the bars, and you see all the local guys, and they come to the show. And that's the stuff that you missed the most, that you forgot about. Because in your head, you're like, going down to the Improv, gotta work a set out, gotta figure it out. I'm a rusty, here we go. But it's all those little things where you forget about the Rona for 8 seconds, and you live in a life again.
Right. Yeah.
That's nice.
The thing I miss the most right now is the actual performance. I like the connection of on stage and expressing yourself and getting those laughs. And I actually do miss the meet and greet as much as we talk about it.
Yes.
'Cause it's nice to see people's faces and the joy, and you kind of connect with the fact that they just really enjoyed the show, and they go, that was awesome, we love you, we listen, you whatever. I do miss that, because electronically it doesn't quite have the same pop,
Yes. And
but
sorry.
Oh, I just miss the shows. I miss getting up there and working it out.
It's a beautiful thing, and you're scared again. Like, it's that thing where it's 4 o'clock and you go, oh, the show's in 3 hours. Oh, the show's in 2 hours. And you just start thinking about it, and you get in your head again, whereas before it was like, we got 2 shows tonight. Fuck. Now we got 2 shows tonight. What are we going to do? And it's way more fear-inducing than it used to be. Before it was almost a nuisance. Now it's like, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to do 45 minutes? I'm doing 45 on the penny.
Right. Yeah, boy, I do miss it, but I keep wanting to work, and I talk to my agent, and he's just like, I don't know. I mean, they got a spike over there and a spike over here,
right.
The crowd is only 50%. You're gonna be working for less money and risking this and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, I got comics from all over texting. Are you going back to work? I don't know. Are you going back to work? And it's funny how insecure all these comics are. Comics in their 50s are just like, what are you doing? Should I do what you do? And
yeah, that's how we check. We all check in with each other, and yeah, it's nice to be here. I will say the plane. Don't freak out about the plane. The plane is the best part. Like, there's no one on there. You got your mask on. The stewardess has got the mask on. The guy in the other row's got a mask on, and it's recycled air. But I think it's all right.
Yeah, I read a thing that said flying is not as bad as people think because they clean the fuck out of everything, and then they said just leave your vent on, your overhead vent, the whole time because it's blowing tits on your ass.
Sure. Good
so.
call.
Yeah, it said leave that on, wipe everything down if you have to, but they also say it doesn't live on surfaces, so I don't know what the fuck, but I did hear that planes aren't quite as dangerous as we think. Leave your mask on, leave your vent on.
Yes,
and boogly-boo.
So here's something I wanted to bring up to you. I don't know if you've ever done this, but I forgot to say I went to Cape Cod with the lady, and we got pretty bored out there, and her dad's like this, nice, dad type dude. He's got high jeans on and a couple of penny loafers, and he goes, "You ever play golf?" And I go, I don't know how to play. I play putt-putt. And he goes, "We should go hit a few balls at the driving range." And I was like, I've never held a golf club in my life unless I was swinging at a intruder or something. And he was like, "Well, I'll teach you." And it was, whenever somebody offers you some crazy thing, my first instinct is to go, "No, thank you. That sounds like work. I'm good." But I just had this queef up my dick hole, and I was like, fuck it, let's go. So we went to the backyard, and he pulls out a wood and an iron and a boner, and he goes, all right, let's hit these ping pong balls. So I look like a fucking special needs kid. I'm swinging it wrong, and I got my elbows bent and my head up and my back arched and my tits out. And I got pretty good. Not pretty good, but I got it down. And then we hightailed it over to the driving range. Had a blast. I'm hitting these things off into creation, and I hit a pond, and I hit a kid, and it was great.
Oh, well, first of all, driving range, when I was a teenager, that's all we ever did. I mean, that was like one of the main things. I mean, I grew up in the suburbs, and that was like one of 3 things you could do. And a lot of the driving ranges were also batting cages. So you'd hit the driving range, and then you go to the batting cage. Or you go to the batting cage, you go to the driving range. And what's funny is I never thought this was weird. I went to the driving range for years before I ever golfed. People were like, "Yo, you golf?" And I'm like, "No, I just go to the driving range." People thought that was crazy. But I always thought a driving range is like its own standalone activity.
Totally. The golf is a commitment. It takes hours. You're on a trail. You get lost. You're in a cart.
It's competitive. I'm losing. I'm hitting the ball into the woods and the water, and then you're losing your ball.
Yes.
Whereas a driving range, you're just hitting the balls everywhere.
Right.
But, driving range was a thing we'd do a couple times a week back when I was a teen. But, golfing's like the funnest. I fucking love golf. I'm a golf guy.
So fun. And, I always thought, because I'm from the inner city, so golfing to me was like khaki pants, polo shirt, saddle shoes, and some guy named Phil Mickelson or whoever the fuck, with a sweater vest on. So I always put it over there. And then you show up to the driving range. Everybody's got a beer in their hand. It's a bunch of guys in shorts, and it was free and easy and fun. Not free, but like you're free to roam, right to roam, and you can buy a bucket of balls, have a couple of beer. It was the best day of my life. No,
it's a great activity. Yeah, people have that weird thing about golf. Like that's professional golfers.
Right.
It would be like if you were like, "Hey, we're getting the gang together. We're gonna play football." And you were like, "Oh, I gotta get a helmet and knee pads and get a tattoo and we're gonna get 60,000 people together." Like you're like, "No, we're gonna play fucking flag football, whatever the fuck."
Yeah.
But no, golf is like the funnest. You smoke a cigar, a bat, and I used to get hammered out there. Drive those carts around. You do weird shit. You do a wheelie. I mean, my Uncle Dale and I have flipped golf carts and shit. It was fun.
Oh, that's a great time, and it's so laid back. Like you hit a few balls, you sit on the bench, you watch your friend hit a few balls, and I'm taking photos of them and everything. It was awesome. I'm going to try to do that at Chelsea Piers when that opens.
Yeah, I mean, it costs $1 million. A fun place to golf is in L.A., the Los Feliz Swingers golf course. It costs like $9.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little 9-hole pitch and putt. It's amazing. I go every single time I go there.
Can you drive them, or is it all pitch and putt?
It's all pitch and putt. That's why they call it a pitch
Okay.
and putt.
All right, but I want that range.
Well, that's fun also. I'm just saying, next time you're in LA, you want to golf, boom. It costs you,
I'm
takes
down.
an hour and a half and costs you $10. But no, golfing's the best. When I was drinking, though, I was like, by the 11th hole, you're like, fuck this.
Right.
That's the only golf problem. You get tired and you're like, fuck, I don't want to golf anymore. I just want to smoke a cigar and booze.
Well, they say you're walking like 7 miles. It's like Jesus or Moses through the desert. It's just hot. You know, you're on your feet the whole time. You got a bag on your back, unless you know a black guy. It's brutal.
Oh, only an asshole fucking walks when he golfs, though.
Oh,
You
really?
get the cart.
All right, you got to get the
You
cart.
bump into those walking guys, you're like, what do you think, you're better than me? Fuck you. I mean, I hate the walkers. No one likes the walkers. They take forever.
White walkers.
And the funnest part is the driving. You try to scoop a guy up, you got to jump on the car as you whiz by, you hit the other guy, then you loosen the strap on the back so when they pull away, the golf clubs spill out. Classic move.
This is great.
Yeah, golfing's the funnest.
So fun. I'm into it, and I put a story of me swinging on Instagram, and I got 8,000. You fucking suck. Kill yourself, boy. That's the worst form I've ever seen. You got scoliosis? You chooch.
Oh yeah, everyone wants to tell you how you can't do anything without everyone telling you what to do. It's why I'm trying to get away from this social media. It's destroying our skulls.
Yes. So you mentioned getting shithoused on the course. So I don't know what got into me, but I think it's the quarantine and the time alone and the gayness. But Ari Shaffir hits me up on Thursday. So I'm leaving Houston on Friday morning to go to Houston, the whole thing. Ari Shaffir hits me up at noon on Thursday and goes, I got nothing to do today. What are you doing? I said, I got nothing. I'm leaving for Houston tomorrow in the morning. He goes, let's get a drink. And I go, fuck it, it's noon. The sun's out. He's Jewish. Let's do it. So I meet him in the village, the East Village. We go buy a margarita. We're walking around. One of the great things about the pandemic, very lax on open container in this town.
Oh yeah, the rules have changed out here.
They don't give a shit. And so one margarita, now we get two. Now we're on our third. We walk into some garden. You know, there's those weird gardens in the East Village that, like, are they public? Are they private? I don't know.
Yes.
So we walk into some garden. Now we're just talking comedy. We're screaming like, you fucking like that guy? That guy sucks. You know, going back and forth. And some guy, like this hippy dippy guy, is like, hey, you guys want to chill the fuck out? Like, this is a Zen garden, and you guys are saying, slurs over here. And we're like, oh, sorry. And then he goes, well, while you're here, can you help me rearrange the garden?
What?
So we're kind of like, but you know, Ari's half in the bag, and he's 98 years old, and he's like, I would love to do that. I haven't gotten any exercise, and he's all into stupid, weird shit, and he's open-minded. So now we're moving barrels and rolling over buckets and replanting. We got our hands dirty.
Oh wow, that sounds great.
It was all right, but it was one of those, can we leave now? Can we leave now? And so finally we leave. We hit more bars, more benches, more walking, more talking. And he calls DeRosa. DeRosa goes, come over. So now we go to DeRosa's house in the village, and he's got booze over there. And we go at it with DeRosa. Now, before I know it, it's like 2 a.m. I got a
Wow.
flight at 8.
Jesus.
It was like the old days, and I realized like how reckless we used to be. And I was like, what am I doing here? And I got back home, and the lady's like, what the hell's going on? You reek of, you smell like whiskey and this and that. And I was like, it's tequila. And then that alarm just, beep, 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 beep. You get 2 seconds of sleep. You get on the flight. Brutal flight. Brutal.
Oof. Was it full or quiet? What are we talking?
Well, here, I pulled a list.
Uh-oh.
So I'm hungover. I'm in the Uber on the way to LaGuardia. And I'm going, let me check the app. My vision's blurry. I'm shitting blood. And I go, all right, I'm in seat 22B. Let me see what happens if I push seat 11A, which is comfort.
Mm-hmm.
It says no problem, $0. All right.
Nice.
So I go, I crank up to 11A. I get through security. There's no line. It's a breeze over there at the airport now. And I get to my seat, nice aisle seat. I got a lady on the window, nice middle seat open. The whole back of the plane is pretty empty. And then this guy's coming down, big fat guy, like a Michael Moore, John Goodman, Ralphie May motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, shit. and he walks right by me. Woo! But then here comes Batembe Batumbo. This is the biggest black guy you've ever seen. He's got to be 7'8", huge arms, wide shoulders. Sits down in the middle seat.
Oh, middle seat during Corona? Come on.
I know, and you could tell he was like a late addition, like he just barely made it on the plane. He bought his ticket 2 seconds ago, and they just threw him in the middle. And I'm talking, his arms are on every armrest on the whole row. He's got his feet out. He's got a man spread like you wouldn't believe. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look in the back of the plane. There's nobody there. So I go, I'm just gonna sit in the back. And I get up and sit in another seat, and the stewardess goes, you can't do that for some reason with Corona. And I was like, well, what's the difference? There's nobody here. She was like, yeah, you can't do it. So I had to sit next to this guy for 4 hours. It was the longest flight of my life.
Jesus, that sounds strange. What Delta, what are they doing? I thought people weren't selling the middle seat and all this shit, which is supposed to be spacing out or distancing, whatever.
Well, it was American. Maybe that's the rub.
Ah, American. I hate those Americans.
I mean, this dude was huge. His feet were this big, and I couldn't believe it. Was like out of a comedy movie. Like, here comes Shaquille O'Neal coming down. Oh, there's Bo Jackson. Everybody watch out. And then, man, that guy took up every... I was up in the aisle armrest like this. Brutal. And it brought me right back to like the old road days. I'm like, I'm in preferred here. How'd I get fucked in preferred?
Oof. It's so strange to hear anything airport and checking the app because it's been so distant out of my mind.
Yeah. So if I'm getting Corona, it's going to be on this trip because the drinking all night with Ari, no sleep. I had 2 flights because I had a layover. And then Batembe Batumbo, he's got something. And then I've just been boozing it up in Houston and doing 2 shows a night. So if I'm going to get it, this is it.
All right. Well, be careful out there.
You heard it here first, folks.
And it's so weird about Ari because Ari and Bob Kelly and Sarah and I are going camping tomorrow.
What?
And he's giving me all this shit. He's like nervous. He's like a different guy. He's like, I don't know if I want to rent a car. I don't know how we're going to get up there. I don't want to get in an Uber. And he's like a nervous Nelly, which is so interesting because people bust my balls about anxiety, Ari particularly,
he's
and
bad.
something bad happens. Now Ari's just all changed. He's usually the mushroom, free spirit, free thinking guy, and he's like, I'm not taking an Uber, I can tell you that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Uber, there's a plastic divide. You keep the windows down. It's one guy.
Uber's great. He's got a mask on. He's got gloves on. Ari he Purelled his asshole after every time we sat down. He Purelled his eyeballs if he saw something weird. I mean, he was all over the map with the hygiene. And I'm like, we're getting hammered on the streets of New York City. We're going to DeRosa's shitbox. Like, you're fucked, man. This Purell's not going to save you.
Weird. Yeah, it's weird to kind of hear him talking like that about, I don't know if I want to do this, and I don't know if I want to do that. And
it's totally weird. It's so unlike him, but he's I have a theory that people even out. You know, he's this freewheeling flip phone. I live in China for 6 weeks and fuck a dog. And then when the pandemic hits, he's like, if you don't wear a mask, you're a fucking asshole. And he was flipping out at people, not wearing masks and shit. I was like, this is a new side of you.
yeah, interesting. And it's funny because I feel like I've zenned out during this. Like, I'm an anxious guy. I'm paranoid about this, and I got hypochondria, and this happened. And now I feel like, it's all fine. It's groovy, man.
Right.
So the crisis is treating me well.
Yeah, you seem a nice even kilter.
Oh, I feel great. Well, all I do is meditate and read all day now. Before I was running around with my asshole on fire and my dad blowing me and everything was scary. But now there's so much downtime. I don't have to worry about making a flight. I don't have to worry about performing and meeting and greeting and the alarm clock going off and this and that. And so I've just been sitting here all introspective and, having sex and connecting with my wife and whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And we had a great time yesterday. Sarah and I went and we met up with Katie Hannigan, our pal.
Yes.
Vecchione, who they're an item. He's out in Tampa Side Splitters getting Corona and heckled probably.
Oh, yeah.
And so the three of us walked and we were like, we got this place, Sunnyside Gardens, we go to every couple days. And she's like, I'd like to go there. So we walked all the way out there. Beautiful day, 80 degrees, masks on, whatever. And we went through these secret, beautiful gardens, had some nice convo. And then Sarah and I came back here. I ordered a pizza. I'm saying, fuck the reflux. I'm not even worried about that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Just eating pizza, got an ice cream. We watched all the nonsense on the telly. We laughed about it, and it's been quite delightful.
Yeah, look at you. You're meditating, you're reading, you're eating, you're in a garden. You're fucking out.
I might never go back.
It's scary, man. I tell you, when you have a flight, I think that's part of why I got shit-faced, because all the anxiety of the flight and the gigs and the new material, like, I think I got drunk just to kind of suppress that a little bit. But I don't know. You got to face reality. The booze is not it's not your friend. But
no. But
it's. I mean, next time you get back on a plane, it ain't gonna be autopilot. No pun intended. It feels definitely like. How do I do? Okay. Are we early? Are we late? Did I bring my razor, my tampon? You know, it's scary again.
No, it's strange to think about because, like we've talked about it before, but like September through December, I flew every single week, both ways. I mean, it's like so many flights, and I'm just hoping Delta keeps my status. They said they would, and I got a couple $1,000s worth of credits because I didn't take. There's like 20 flights I didn't take, so. But it is weird to even think about the idea of getting on a plane right now.
Yeah, totally. Shit, what was I going to say? You had something with the garden, the Zen. I can't remember. God damn it. Oh, I got it. Speaking of Zen, so I want to give a shout out to this guy. I couldn't do the meet and greet, so I had the manager comes in. Hello, come into the green room. There's a guy out here. He said he's got something to give you. And I was like, oh, great, he's going to give me Corona. But that's always a risky thing, you know? But I was like, fuck it. I go outside, huge Tuesday, nicest guy in the world, hands me a big jar of shrooms.
Oh.
So I don't know the guy's name, but I got to give a shout-out to that guy. Good egg. God love you. Thank you for the shrooms. I can't wait to take them, and Lord knows we need them now more than ever.
Yeah, I just rewatched the Bill Hicks documentary for the first time in a couple of years. We were texting, and it's all about the shroom. That movie really makes you want to do some mushrooms. It's a real mushroom movie. And, what a fine artist. Great film. Good stuff. And it was inspiring, but it was making me want to go do stand-up. I wrote like several pages in my notebook for the first time in a while.
I know. You said some of the bits. You got some killer stuff there, and we're all excited to hear it. And it's fun getting back, man. But it still doesn't feel the same because you know it could go away at any moment, or it's still like a pandemic-y vibe in the air. But boy, it's cathartic. It feels good. Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out where I can do a set. I mean, I did that one set on the back of a truck, and that was nice. So it's got lit a little bit of a spark. So trying to figure some stuff out. We'll get there.
We'll get there, folks, and we're gonna get there together. Hit the Patreon. Tell a friend. Let's build the Tuesday army. We love you. We need you. And get a shirt and tell a friend and queef it up.
Yeah, get some merch. Check out the merch, and hit the Patreon because there's a lot of great stuff on there that you might be missing out on. Live episodes, the first 177 episodes. We're breaking down sets. You get the video early. A lot of stuff, and you can join for $4 or $5, $10, whatever you want. So go do that, please.
Yes. Here. Be queer and fuck a steer.
Yeah, steers and queers, and we're all out of queer, whatever that line is. But all right, well, and stay safe, everybody. You know, be safe, do what you do, make your choices, live your life, be nice, be kind. Please rewind, and thanks for listening. We love you.
Yeah, take care, comb your hair. Praise Allah. I'll see you, buddy.
Farts, tits, see you later. Georgia saying cut it.
Got it.